So, hi everyone, welcome back to our channel, that is English Grammar and Literature World. Students, in our earlier class, we have completed some important questions from one word substitution, and we have completed total 25 questions, and in this class we are going to cover from 26 to 50. So let's begin. First one, that is 26. A person who is indifferent to pleasure or pain. So what is the right one word substitution? Someone who is indifferent to pleasure and pain, that is called option A, stoic. So a stoic is a person who remains calm and unaffected by pleasure, pain, happiness or suffering. Okay. Now look at the other options. What is cynic? A cynic is a person who distrusts human motives and believes people are selfish. So here only option A is the correct answer. Cynic, sadist and optimist, they are not the correct answer. Next, one who cannot be corrected. So here the correct one word substitution is option C, that is incorrigible. So an incorrigible person is someone who cannot be corrected, improved or reformed despite repeated efforts. Okay, so look at the other options. What is invisible? So invisible means something that cannot be seen. Okay, that is called invisible. Indelible means something that cannot be removed or erased. That is called indelible. Now what is incurable? So incurable means a disease or condition that cannot be cured immediately. Understand? Next, a government by a few people. So actually a government by a few people is called option B, oligarchy. Okay, so an oligarchy is a form of government in which power is controlled by small group of people. So democracy generally suggests for the people by the people. Okay, that is called democracy. And what is monocracy? So a monocracy is a government ruled by only king or queen. That is monocracy. And autocracy refers ruled by only one person. Next, a thing that cannot be heard. So what is the right one word substitution? That is called option A, inaudible. Understand? Now what is alimony? Alimony means financial support paid to a former husband or wife after divorce. So the word illegible means cannot be read. That is called illegible. Indelible means something that cannot be erased or removed. Okay, that is called indelible. Next, a thing that cannot be seen. Obviously invisible. So option A, invisible, is the correct answer. Inaudible means that cannot be heard. Intangible means something that cannot be touched. Okay, cannot be touched. That is called intangible. And what is transparent? So transparent means allowing light to pass through so object behind can be seen clearly. That is transparent. Next, home of lunatics. So this one is very important. Especially home of lunatics suggests option D, asylum. Okay, so someone may get confused the word correction home. So correction home is not the correct answer. So here only the correct answer is option D, asylum. So what is the word alma mater? So the word alma mater means school, college or universities where a person studies. That is called alma mater. Okay, next, fluent and clear in speech is called option B, articulate. So an articulate person speak clearly, fluently and effectively. Okay, so what is the meaning of the word veteran? So veteran generally means a person with long experience. Long experience in field, especially military services. That is called veteran person. Next, one who works in sleep. So this one is very important one word substitution. So here the correct answer is option C, that is a very common term, somnambulist. Understand? A somnambulist is a person who works or performs activities while sleeping. So the word somna means one kind of sleep and ambulare means to walk. So what is the meaning of the word isomaniac? Isomaniac is a person who suffers from isomania or inability to sleep. That is called isomaniac. Next, a person who makes map is called option A, cartographer. Next, a group of people, one race moving in the same direction. The correct answer of this one word substitution is option D, colony. Actually A colony refers to group of people of the same race, nationality or origin living together in a particular place. That is called colony. Look at the other options. What is cytology? Cytology means the scientific study of cells. That is called cytology. What is chronology? Chronology means agreement of events according to time order. Okay, that is called chronology. And what is cosmology? The word cosmo means universe and logy means knowledge or studies. So cosmology is the scientific study of the universe and its origin. That is called cosmology. Next, a person who cannot read or write. That is option C, illiterate. So a illiterate person is someone who cannot read or write. Understand? Next, a person who works for free. So here the correct answer is option B, that is volunteer. A volunteer is a person who willingly works without payment in order to help others or support a cause. A child whose parents are dead. So here the correct one word substitution is option D, orphan. An orphan is a child whose parents are dead or who has been abandoned by them. So now what is the meaning of the word infant? So the word infant is a very young child or baby. That is called infant. Next, a place where dead bodies are kept. So now someone get confused the word morgue and cemetery. So look at the difference. Here the correct answer is option A, that is morgue. But if you say cemetery is the correct answer, then it would be wrong. The word cemetery means burial place. Okay, where burial place or ground where dead bodies are buried. That is cemetery. But morgue is the only place where dead bodies are kept, not buried. That's why morgue is the correct answer, not cemetery. Okay, next, a person who collects stamp is called option B, philatelist. A philatelist is a person who collects and studies postage stamps. What is numismatics? So numismatic is a person who collects or studies coins. That is called numismatic. What is archaeologist? So archaeologist is a person who studies ancient civilization through object ruins and historical remains. So what is botanist? So botanist is a scientist who studies plants. Next, a person who repairs shoes. So here the correct one word substitution is option B, that is cobbler. A cobbler is a person whose profession is repairing shoes and footwear. Next, a person who hates women. So here the correct one word substitution is option C, that is a misogynist. So the word miso means hatred and Jain means woman. Okay, so a misogynist is a person who hates, dislike or shows prejudice against women. Understand? Next, a person who loves himself excessively. So here the correct answer is option A, that is narcissist. A narcissist is a person who values human welfare and believes in human dignity and kindness. Okay, next, a government ruled by one person. So one person is called auto. So auto means one. So here option B, autocracy is the correct answer. Democracy means ruled by people. Okay, next, a remedy for all diseases. So this one is very important, so you have to be careful about this word. So a remedy for all diseases is called option D, that is panacea. So the word panacea is a remedy or solution that cure all diseases or solve every problem. So originally the word referred to a universal medicine believed to cure every illness. Understand? Next, a person who loves peace. So here the correct one word substitution is option D, that is called pacifist. So a pacifist is a person who believes in peace and opposes violence, war and fighting. Understand? What is radical? So radical is a person who supports extreme political or social changes. That is called radical. Socialist is a person who believes in social ownership and economic equality. Okay, and revolutionary generally means a person who supports or participates in revolution. That is called revolutionary. Next, a person who loves his country. So here the correct one word substitution is option B, patriot. A patriot is a person who loves, supports and is devoted to his country. So if you say that nationalist, then it will be wrong. Actually, a nationalist is a person who strongly supports the interest and independence of his nation. Understand? Good. Next, a person who studies insect. Here the correct answer is option B, that is entomology. An entomology is a scientist who studies insect scientifically. So look at the other options. What is zoologist? A zoologist is a scientist who studies animals in general, that is zoologist. What is botanist? So botanist is a scientist who studies plants. And what is ecologist? An ecologist studies the relationship between living organisms and their environment. Okay, next, a person who is new to a profession. So here option D, novice, is the correct answer. A novice is a beginner or a person who is inexperienced in a professional skill or activities. Next, a person who lives at the same time as another. So look at the options. Is it colleague, is it companion, is it contemporary, or is it successor? So what is the right answer? Let me know in the comment section. Here are total 25 questions from one word substitution, and these all questions are very important for your competitive exams. If you want to join our Telegram channel, then link in the description to get free PDF and daily quizzes. Till then, keep reading, keep writing, and keep subscribing English Grammar and Literature World. So thanks for watching. Have a nice day.